Hey, we're sitting out in the park and are having a little bit of the tea crane's organic Bancha. This is my friend Mikael. He's from Finland, and we kind of have a working history together. And he's also, quite interested in my teas. And from time to time, we actually meet up and sit out in the park and enjoy some tea. And today we have a little bit of the organic Bancha from, which is also offered in the store at the tea crane.
One thing I was wondering, because I drink a lot of Bancha, but I also tasted some of your Hojicha. What the difference is between those two teas? Because I feel that it's very similar in taste, but there's still some difference.
Depending on which region you go to in Japan, Bancha has a different meaning. If you would, for example, go to Kyoto, if you say, give me a cup of Bancha, you get a cup of Kyo Bancha, which is tea that is roasted on a coal fire and thus has a rather smoky aroma to it. If you would, for example, go down to Shizuoka, which is more northern in Japan, there if you say Bancha, you actually get a green tea.
Oh.
It's a green tea that is harvested later in the year.
So where does Hojicha come in?
Hojicha is basically those coarser leaves, those later picked leaves, which are roasted in a regular oven or on a regular fire, which gives a little bit of a sweeter aroma, a little bit of a roasted aroma, and gives it a little bit of a nutty flavor. So the difference between Bancha and Hojicha, in some regions it's the same.
Yeah.
In other regions you get something completely different for Bancha. So the reason I've been asked this question before as well is the naming of the Bancha, the organic roasted Bancha that I've given to the tea that I'm selling in the tea store at the tea crane, is actually a Hojicha. But due to the naming, some people actually got confused. So I might have to reconsider the naming.
The first time I was ordering Bancha from you, I actually thought I would get Hojicha.
Ah. Which you did.
Which I did. Yeah, so it is closer to Hojicha than Bancha, what I'm drinking, what we're drinking.
Well, it's basically, the production is Hojicha.
Yeah, but it's named Bancha.
The name is Bancha, yeah. Basically because the leaf used for this Hojicha, it's harvested after the harvest for sencha and other higher quality teas is done.
Yeah.
So you get later harvest, coarser leaves. The leaves are larger, there's branches in it as well, and then it's just roasted.
So usually, or sometimes when you get a cold Hojicha at Japanese restaurants, what Hojicha is that? Is it?
Well, they could basically serve anything.
Could be anything.
If you go in Kyoto, it's usually Kyo Bancha.
Yeah.
It's usually the regional type of tea. There are a lot of places that do cookie Hojicha because they're known to be quite full in flavor, quite full body.
So if you're not a morning person and usually are used to take your cup of coffee in the morning to wake up, is there anything that you recommend if you would like to?
Oh yes.
Maybe get rid of the caffeine addiction and try some teas instead.
What is very high in caffeine as for a leaf tea is gyokuro. Gyokuro is the tea that is shaded for about a month, and it's quite high in amino acids, but also quite high in vitamin C and caffeine, even more than a regular sencha. And if you would then look at something that is much higher in caffeine, you could actually go for matcha.
Oh.
Replacing your morning cup of coffee with a cup of matcha
Yeah.
can give you the same boost of energy and can keep you awake throughout the day. And if you then need to replenish it, you can just look for a cup of sencha throughout the day. Yeah. Well, we're going to enjoy our tea a little bit further and enjoy the winter. See you on another episode of one of our videos, and also subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on my daily tea videos.